Hey, it's time. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Hey, it's inside the box. Time to get boxy with you on this Wednesday, August 6th. Of the 25s, I'm Brian Campbell, the proprietor of this here Brian Campbell Experienced Pothole YouTube channel. That guy next to me, great stash, loves women and boxing, just not at the same time. They
Never.
call him Rafe Bartolome. Hey, buddy, how are you over there in suburban Detroit, or as they say on the
mitten. Show me your mitten.
you're on the thumb.
The
You're
thumb.
on the
That's
thumb.
like up there in Bad Axe, man. What do you think? Where do you? It's lovely. I like the thumb. All right, I think the thumb is one of the more underrated parts of the state.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
thumb is one of the more underrated tools in a bedroom as well. But
okay, sir.
that ain't where I live, man.
I don't think this is that kind of show, to be fair.
No,
right?
No. We keep it respectable, very, very heteronormative is what I go for in my life.
Right. I mean, let's ask Sal Pell about it.
Take one round at a time, let him shoot his low, and then down the stretch, do what we do best.
When did you think that the fight was starting to turn when he had shot his load and you could come out?
When he started shooting his low in the first half of the fight.
See, I disagree. I disagree with that, BC. If Floyd had been willing to use his thumb a little bit in that fight, stick it up in there, he could have gotten Conor to blow his load maybe 3-4 rounds earlier, and we, could have got out of there, made it a quick night.
Okay, there you go. This will be the most washed show ever. I don't think that's allowed in the box, to be fair. Okay, well, depends.
But only if the ref sees it. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, depends on which box is. Hey, thank you for that shout out on my lettuce there, Lazy Bed. Shout out to Just Bleed Radio. Shout out to all the people inside our box at the moment. Rafe, we have so much to get into today. It's going to be a fun ass show. But before we do, I do want to get your thoughts on one of our heroes of old, AB. Always balling, Adrien Broner. Did you see the 36-year-old come out on the socials and be like, I'm going ham for the next 3 years, dedicating it all to the box? And then there's like an online rumor, I don't know where it's coming from, that he could be fighting Rolly on some Saudi card. I don't know. What do you make of all this AB stuff?
Believe it or not, Brian, I was not paying attention to AB's social media and whatever he's talking about at any given point in his career or I don't care about his career. I don't care. I do care about his life, but I don't care about his people. But look, I don't believe a single word of that, but I'm rooting for the guy. I still got love in my heart for AB. He was always fun. He was a good fighter. He didn't do himself and his own pretty prodigious talent justice in the ring with his career. True. Because he didn't take it seriously. It's too late to get that back. But he
did do this though.
I beat Polly. I left with his belt and his girl.
All right. Shout out to Jessica.
Don't be bragging about take my side piece, okay?
Yeah.
You don't get laid.
You don't get laid.
I thought you were gonna play. I beat that boy.
Yeah, Sandin's here as well. Hey, shout out to our boy Logan Dobson for appearing last week on this show, the renowned DC lobbyist. And, people didn't agree with his takes, but he's a smart man. He understands the box.
Look, I'm trying to scrub that entire experience from my memory, man. He ragdolled us. We got Willie Pept in there. We were trying to come at him with all the smart Kurt Emhoff, Eric McGracken, John Nash takes. What about this? What about this, Logan? And he's just like blah blah, like fucking neo'd us, man. No, that didn't happen. We're never talking about it.
The only thing he was right about is, are we really standing up for Suleiman? I mean, come on. What are we doing here, Rafe? All right.
I loved his daddy. I love his green belts. I love his multicolored belts. I love his Technicolor dream coat, which will be probably given to Canelo, win or lose, after the Terrence Crawford fight. Yeah, I'm going. I ride the horse what brung me, all right? Or I dance with the horse what brung me. It has to be your bull, and I'm coming. I'm with Mauricio.
Speaking of washed welters like AB, box time, Zeb. Thank you. Today's going to be a fun show. We're finally going to put into existence my long-held idea for season 6 of The Contender, Washed Welters. We're going to draft the rosters. We'll break down the rules. Hopefully, I got calls out with Mark Brunette and Boonham Murray, a lot of reality folks in my ear, seeing if we can make this happen. We'll get into that. Also, of course, news involving, Ryguy and Oscar won't stop sparring. Jake Paul's threatening to sue the world. And of course, we got to recap that double duty DAZN double header of all action. Did you watch that? Yeah, it was great.
I enjoyed it as well. It was
I enjoyed
the main event. I mean, look, Prograis and JoJo was it was what it was, and
it was beautiful.
They get to go. They do not have to pass go. They can go straight to Washed Welters League. However, that main event was awesome, and we can talk about it.
So good. So good. We'll get to that shortly. Before we do, though, we tend to always, update on this channel. I'll be back tomorrow for a live ramble. I'm not sure what time. I'll get back to you. All right. We got some interviews coming up on this channel as well in the future, including Regis Prograis, including Moses Itauma. So stay tuned to the Brian Campbell Experience. Rafe, I did want to ask you about your life in suburban Michigan. How are things? Has anything changed in the past week? What's your liquid crack level intake at the moment?
Not too high. I decided this morning, instead of going hard on the liquid crack, I needed to pick me up. So I went with the liquid meth, the Celsius.
Oh no, that'll kill you fast.
No, look, I do it for the show. I do it for you, Brian. I do it for the BCE and for everyone, all of the listeners around the world who do care.
But there's some speed in that can. You got to be careful.
He can't handle your speed, son.
All right, can you handle that speed?
I can handle it all day long, baby.
All right. Yeah, that's great. That's great. What is like the perfect day in suburban Detroit for you? Like drive in, head down to the Masonic Hall. Like, what are you doing? Motown Museum. Like, what's a great time in your area?
Well, sure. It starts early. All right. I like to, I hear that bird call early and I'm up. Yeah. All right. And it starts early. I like to be at the Oakland University gym around 6:30 a.m. Get my shots up, Operation Steve Novak still in full effect. All right, try not to blow out my right Achilles because it's about to go any minute now. But get through that. Get a nice sweat in. Maybe shower. Maybe doesn't matter. And then after that, it's all gravy, maybe exercise again if I have some time and energy, and then read some books. I like to weed my driveway here because the weeds, they come up fast there, man. It's
wow. All years just for weed. Damn.
Yeah. And I don't know. That's about it, man. Sometimes I tell you, man, these local water parks, the municipal water park, you can get in for like $10. You got and just chill in the wave pool the whole time. They don't have. It's just a wave pool and some kiddie slides.
Okay.
Try not to look like a pedophile, but it's a good place to go enjoy. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of families there, and they sometimes they're like, man, I was there. Look, I have never been alone. All right, I take my nieces, whatever.
Worse.
I've never been alone. I've never been there alone. But even though I've been there alone, because of this goddamn mustache, I had a girl call stranger danger on me because her brother talked to me in the pool. I wasn't trying to talk to this child. He said, "Excuse me." I was like, "For what? I'm right here." And I guess he wanted me to get out of his way, but I don't need to move for you, son. And then she's like, "Why are you talking to him?" He's just trying. I was like, yo, relax. All right.
Wow.
It ain't that deep.
You need to relax, Epstein. What is going on here? Nothing to see here. He was the best.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
What teenagers? All right. You and Jojo Diaz have a lot. Okay. Enough of that. Stop that crap right now. I appreciate you sharing your life, but I have one important question. Piss in the pool or no piss in the pool? I won't judge you either way.
Do I?
Yeah.
I haven't this summer. Have I in life? Of course. Who hasn't, right? I mean, and if
yeah.
I'm in a lake, I mean, it's all natural, right? However, no, especially because this is, I mean, again, I'm trying to set an example, be one of the good adults, right? I'm not here. I am trying to set an example for the children. What children? All the children.
All the children. Yes.
So I just walk to one of the restrooms and pee there. I do assume, however, that because of all the kids in these wave pools, that there's a high percentage of urine in there, but it's okay. It's a lot of chlorine. All right. I haven't seen it. I have yet to see a turd pop up. All right. We're raising some good kids out here in the Middle West. All right.
Okay.
And the best boxers, as Roger Mayweather would tell you.
Well, think about it. It's like Sugar Ray Robinson, Floyd Mayweather, James Toney, Clarissa
Aaron Pryor.
Chris Bird. Who else? We got Aaron Pryor, the Durrell brothers, Uncle Durrell, that guy that two-piece who's Katage. You know
what's
what I'm
his
saying?
name? The Pittsburgh windmill.
Oh yeah.
Harry Greb, baby.
Harry Greb. There it is. A lot of Greb heads in this pod right there. Also, people still talking about your appearance on Morning Combat. They want you back. All right, they do. They do.
I'm thank you. I appreciate it. I'd love to come
Stephen
back.
T wants you back. Let's shout out to Santa's in the house. I didn't know it was Christmas. Santo, hey, thank you for your support of this podcast. What minute? All right. Rafe is for the kids. Somebody call Chris Hansen. Rafe, let's get into the actual boxeo portion of this show, if you will, Dusty.
I have one more story from the water park. I can't leave it out, man. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh.
I'm walking back from the slides, and there's a couple children walking towards the slides, and I just overhear one of them say, like, chlorine tastes good, kinda. And I'm like, yeah, just roll with it. It does taste good, kinda. There's nothing wrong with a little chlorine.
You're drinking recycled liquid crack right now when you drink that chlorine. All right,
it might cure your COVID.
Is this in response to RFK Jr.? I don't know where you're going with this politically.
Well, I remember back in the day during the COVID days when our president was out there, was like, what's the worst that could happen? Drink some bleach. Shit. Fuck.
Do you think he walked on the roof yesterday just to make people stop talking about Epstein's apartment? I mean, this is getting wild, right?
I think he's trying to just take the attention away from the revival of the Ali Act, which of course is not leading the nation's news night after night after night.
Night after night. But hey, I didn't think anybody watches this show, but the amount of people that reached out to me in this business and were like, hey, good chat with Logan. I was like, all right, great. So I thought it was just all candy lickers.
So the reviews were all very high from the people in the business who are all making money from this corrupt ass shit. And then from everyone, all the fans who are just like, what the fuck, man? Stop screwing us. Stop screwing us. Stop screwing fighters. This sucks. They're all like, this sucks. Shut this guy up. Get Luke on here to body slam him. Basically calling for a fatwa on our poor friend Logan, who did this out of the goodness of his own heart.
Yeah.
But hey, he's getting good reviews in the business.
Speaking of screwing fighters, Sex Harrison used to be with the Bomb, and that's something right there, right? Shout out to Detroit. Okay, there you go. All right. That guy repping Detroit harder than Ice Cube and Boys in the Hood, right?
April in the D, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Meet me on the D on the low, Oscar. Thank you very much. All right. It was not Detroit. It was Chicago. Great to see. Great to see boxing in that great city that doesn't involve Andy Fonfari or Andrew Galata.
I believe Andy Fonfara was looking like dynamite on that PBC card a couple of weeks ago, right?
He was getting in that ass.
Yeah,
yes, indeed.
Sebastian Fonfara.
Yeah, he made Chavez Jr. quit after training in Reno. By the way, getting Joe Goosen to tell the inside stories of that training camp in Reno, Nevada, at that sad hotel where they set up the ring in the lobby and you could come watch JCC spar each day. That's incredible. Anyway, main event on Saturday. You nailed it when you started this show. That Kenneth Sims Jr. versus Oscar Duarte battle at 100. What was that, 140? Yeah, that show was 140, right?
Are they? Are they? I thought it might be at Welter. Are they Welters? They're not washed, though.
Those 140. Either way, a back and forth war. Seriously, an all action fight in which the boxer, in this case, Kenneth Sims Jr., stood on business, sat down on his punches, was willing to
140. BC's right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Before we break down the fight, I don't normally talk about people's, or especially males' bodies being a wonderland like John Mayer, but Oscar Duarte knows the way to the gym, brother. What do you make of that?
When I saw him out there, I was like, wait a minute, he's training with Robert Garcia and the Macarena Smog Check people and Gamez Law Fights, because I was thinking this looks like he's been eating some Chepo beef.
Well, yeah, well, that is true. I mean, he looked tremendous, though. But this was a fight that I felt like could have gone either way. I had Oscar Duarte edging him, not glazing him. See, I know you can't say edging him. Edging used to mean I beat you 7 rounds to 5, but to other people, it means other things. How did you score the action here for Oscar Duarte and Kenneth Sims?
I did. I scored it. I think I had it more 8-4 for Duarte. I found I had it a little bit wider because I just thought he was like Kenneth Sims Jr. was often having the cleanest, nicest punch, the prettiest counter of each round. But he just couldn't keep up the work rate to actually deserve to win those rounds on my scorecards, where it seemed like Duarte, just never stopped and was landing effectively. He was also missing a lot because he's just throwing a lot, and he was also getting countered because he's susceptible there. But Sims wasn't hurting him. It looked like Sims got took the brunt of more damage and was outworked, and it just wasn't enough. It was a really, really strong boxing performance and so competitive, a great style matchup. Fantastic to watch, but it seemed like Duarte was more or less in control throughout.
I'll give you that, but it was close in the end. A majority decision victory for Duarte, 115-113, 7-5, of course. A tie scorecard of 114-114. I have a fight with a tie guy, and a 116-112, 8-4. I settled right around 7-5 for Oscar Duarte. Do you believe he gets hit too much, though? Or is that just part of what it takes to be an exciting fighter who gets up inside you and lets it go with both hands?
Sure. Does he get hit too much to be a pound for pound level fighter? I think so. I think it's probably safe to say that, yes. Maybe he could prove us wrong. Maybe he has this chin that has improved since he was hurt and stopped by Ryan Garcia. Although, I mean, look, as soon as Ryan Garcia lands a punch, they're always looking for an excuse to stop his fights, right? Because they got to get him out of there before he fucks it up.
Wow, that's an editorial. Okay.
Yeah, all right, whatever. We know what the deal is with that guy. But look, he gets hit. He's a little too easy to counter. Kenneth Sims was landing his really, really clean counters, especially that counter left hook, right? For other orthodox fighters, where he's, where he drops his hand to either throw those uppercuts from a little bit too far out, or he's trying to come with the overhand, and he just gets, he opens up and gets clipped before his punch lands. He took it well against Kenneth Sims Jr., who is not as big a puncher as I think we could say Ryan Garcia is, and whose specialty is just the perfect shot to hurt Duarte in that way coming in. But I think I'd love to see him keep working there at 140 or go up to welterweight eventually whenever that works. I mean, he's clearly seems like his frame can handle some muscle, and see how his chin holds up against other fighters. And those are two very good, sharp counterpunchers. You're not going to encounter that many fighters who can land that sort of Sunday punch and rock him like that. He didn't seem, rocked badly at any time in this fight. He felt some. He took a few steps back when Sims landed good shots, but he more or less kept the pressure coming on. And even when he did seem like he was buzzed a little bit, came right back and kept fighting, so his motor impressed me more than anything else. I think he's good enough and responsible enough to win a belt at one of these weight classes. I don't see him as likely being ever seen as the best at one of these weight classes. There's going to be someone who can beat that style.
That's very fair. He has limitations. He has a ceiling. He's got a stick to some degree too, to quote Richard Dwyer, just another stranger on the internet. But Oscar Duarte felt like he took a step forward here. 4 straight wins since the Ryan Garcia loss. Would you agree with what everybody else is saying, that this victory adds a lot more value to Ryan Garcia's victory over Duarte, because Duarte's starting to separate himself from the average crowd?
Absolutely. I'll still pick some nits in that victory, just being like, look, you didn't look that good. You landed one good punch and they were quick to stop a fight. No, I need to rewatch that stoppage, but it seemed like, I don't know, was he counted out? Was he, did you have a clear picture in your head? I remember it being, could have let it go on.
I'm with you. It could have kept going. Yeah. He wasn't ready for Ryan's overall athleticism, but he seems to. Did I read this wrong? Didn't Duarte kind of infer on social media that he feels like Ryan Garcia was on the roids and that he wants a rematch to clear the air to set that record straight?
That wouldn't surprise me. It makes sense. I think he should want a rematch because unless, even though I think stylistically and he's sort of tailor-made for Garcia in that he is open and coming forward and giving Garcia opportunities to land his only weapon, which happens to be one of the best weapons in boxing. So there's that the risk of just getting clipped and always losing to Ryan Garcia if he can't get him out of there soon enough is always going to be there. However, I think, he's earned the right to feeling some confidence, to feeling maybe he's a little bit better now. And also, he's got a great trainer in Robert Garcia. It's not crazy to think that they could work on a slightly different game plan that allows him to take it a little bit more slowly, and try and set some traps for Garcia or just figure he does not necessarily have to walk straight into Garcia's best punch, although that his style does sort of lead to that. In any case, I think he's right to call for it. I would like to see it. I think I would favor him in the rematch, just seeing how bad Garcia looked against Rolly, who fought in a way to expose so many of Ryan's deficiencies.
Sure.
But still, I'd want to see it. It'd be a fun look. Duarte, until he becomes washed, which happens fairly quickly for pressure action fighters, is going to be a great watch against anyone because he can clearly take a punch. And he's active. He's got a great motor. He fights 3 minutes of every round. He's a good looking guy. He can sell, you see him at a weigh-in. You're like, all right, this guy's coming to fight. I'm in on this experience. And I like that I know we're going to talk a little bit more about Ryan Garcia later, Brian, but I like that rematch, even if they want to jump straight into it, because Garcia has a reason to think that it doesn't really matter how crappy a version of me rolls out of bed and into the ring. Like I can still land my best punch against this guy almost at will, or I know I count on landing it once in a fight because he's going to be trying to get in my ass the rest of the time. And
you talking about you stuff?
No, never that, man. No. And then it allows Garcia to, if he wins, to recoup a lot of his status immediately, right? It in some ways it's sort of like a stealth get well fight for him. If the theory that he can just beat Duarte with his left hook it turns out to be true, it's also a chance for Duarte to be like, no, this guy's a joke. He doesn't take the sport seriously. He doesn't take his life seriously, and let's send him to hell.
Okay. All right. I don't disagree here with Mr. C. As Rafe said, Duarte, a good looking guy. I'd like to get on that same diet, get a little bit of that Mexican beef, if you will. Key question, giving your background in Filipino politics, who has hurt more innocent people, Duarte in the ring or Duarte in the Philippines?
Duterte.
Yeah. Do you have an answer or what?
Definitely former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Okay. One thing we did not hear at all in Duarte's corner on Saturday.
Hey, that black guy, he hits hard.
But I got to give a lot of credit to Kenneth Sims Jr. for biting down. But I wonder, Rafe, in hindsight, losing this fight by majority decision, 8-4, 7-5, one card even, as I mentioned, did Sims, and showing what a lot of us that have followed his career already knew, that he is a dog when he needs to be, did he need to be a dog in this? Did he welcome too much back against the ropes time in fighting when in reality he's a slick boxer? Do you think it was his want to show people that he's of that life that did him in the end? Or do you think that pressure from Duarte was going to break up his best boxing intentions no matter what?
I guess it depends on whether or not Kenneth Sims Jr. actually could have boxed on his toes encircled Duarte and beaten him that way for 12 rounds. That's my guess is he probably couldn't. He looked like the amount of pressure, the intensity of the fight, both in terms of, he did go to the ropes a lot, but Sims was very good on the ropes. That's the thing. While you probably, just in terms of overall volume, it probably hurt him on the scorecards and in the fight to go to the ropes as much as he did. That said, he also landed nasty, hellacious counters every time he went there. And to the extent that he felt like, look, I'm hitting this guy clean, one of these is going to shake something loose in there, and I'll be able to capitalize from there. I don't think he was crazy to think that because it's not like his punch. He has no power and was not having any effect on Duarte. So if he could, I don't know if it would have been possible to just not run, but to box on his toes and keep Duarte at bay for an entire fight. I think that would be hard because although Duarte is fairly, he comes forward in a pretty predictable manner.
Yes.
His feet move quick. They're not heavy. Like he's moving at you in a straight line, and he's not taking his time to get there. So he would, if you wanted to run or be a more, use the ring more, so to speak, against him, you're going to be on that bike a lot. And I don't know if that would work either.
Yeah. Either way, Sims gave a great showing of himself. He has limitations too, but do you think he gets favorable fights off of this performance?
I hope so. He definitely deserves some. And I believe, I think he does continue to get opportunities, and in the right matchups will expose a few overrated names, or will catch guys on off nights, or will be in the right style matchup where a little bit less pressure. And I think he does have enough to pull out this kind of fight against a similar opponent, or even if in a rematch, like Brody is saying, if Duarte has a little bit of a off night, doesn't come with quite so much of La Farmacia in running through his veins and all that energy, then maybe we get a different outcome. But no, I think Sims will get good because he's sort of in. It's both the perfect and it's a double-edged sword because he's like the perfect opponent for a lot of fighters coming up. He's like a perfect gatekeeper where he is if you can beat him, I think that sort of proves that you are a world-class fighter. Like you deserve to be fighting for belts, championships, right? Strap season. All right, seatbelt season.
Okay, should have thought of that, Errol. Please, good Lord.
But and if you can't beat him, then you're just not that good. I think he will. But he also seems like he doesn't quite have enough power or enough output to look from afar as a real dangerous fight. You're like, okay, this guy's a tough fight, but my guy, matchmakers will think my guy is ready and he'll grow from it. And you need to be able to beat this guy if you're going to go on to beat champions at any weight.
Indeed. Yeah. We got Hank Williams IV jumping in here. He says Duarte won the 12th on all the cards. If Kenny Sims would have won, it would have been a draw. Very true. Next, Hank Williams IV needs Duarte versus Arnold Barbosa and Kenny versus El Rayo Valenzuela. Do you see those rumors out there that we could be getting a fall PBC Golden Boy card that would have Keith One-Time Thurman against Virgil Ortiz in the main event and maybe Frank the Ghost Martin against Arnold Barbosa Jr. in the co-main? Would that move you at all, or only if I'm on the call?
Hell yes. I mean, look, it moves me more with BC on the call, but hell yes. I don't know if Keith really wants to fight Virgil Ortiz right now, but Keith probably still dangerous for a few rounds. Virgil can get a little reckless. I bet I wouldn't be surprised if Virgil gets knocked down before getting up and just sending poor Keith to hell in that kind of fight.
Possible.
But it's anyway. Yeah, I like Thurman is fun. I don't mind seeing what he's got left, and that co-main is awesome.
Indeed, as was Saturday's co-main. We'll get to that in 8 seconds.
Heard Keith Thurman was going to be here. Sounded boring. Found the man. Still sounded boring.
Great.
Is he
moment.
drinking that? Is he drinking that same green slurry that you drink?
Oh, the AG1. It changes lives. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hey, well, this guy's signature sounds is like, yo, let me get one time versus Blair the Flair. They not on the same level, bro. Did you see the Brock Jarvis fight? There you go.
I mean,
Mastermind, we love you too. Thank you very much. All right.
Blair took AB's tooth. Maybe he could take Keith's too.
Okay.
I like that
style. I like that style. Let's get into the fight that I liked just as much, which brought some interesting chatting points afterwards. I called it hashtag washed warfare on Twitter. I finally watched the fight in full last night. It was Regis Prograis taking a 10-round unanimous decision on at least one scorecard that was much wider than people thought it should have been against a Jojo Diaz Jr. who has lost a lot lately, but seemed really inspired. Seemed like he was trying to get his life in order from that very unfortunate dick pic text to a minor back in the day, even though he didn't get the win. Jojo,
unfortunate. You. It sounds like it was an accident. Oh shoot, my bad. Oh shit. Oh man.
Well, I did read up on it last night. He claimed it was an accident.
Which part was the accident?
Well, he says that he dated the older sister previously. He got drunk and he texted the pic to the wrong sister. I'm not defending. I'm just saying
like that excuse. I'll buy that. It's probably bullshit, but I like that.
Okay. What I'm really trying to say here is that these two put on a out of nowhere quasi fight of the year contender in a fun back and forth war. But was the narrative in your eyes true that our friends on the call, Todd Grisham, Chris Mannix, and Sergio Mora were putting out, that Prograis deserved to win? He looked good offensively in a lot of stretches, but there was this belief that his chin is just not there anymore at 36, that it betrayed him like crazy. After the fight and later on social media, Prograis would say, look, I wasn't as buzzed as people thought. I just have bad footwork, basically. I'm just off balance all the time. What did you make from A, loving the action, but B, should Prograis hang it up? Because we got boxing Twitter saying, we love you, Rougarou, but please no more. I was a little surprised after rewatching, after watching the fight in full. I don't think he needs to go away. He's not going to win a world title, but I don't think he needs to go away. Where do you at after this fight?
Yeah, no, he was not. I did not follow his commentary after the fight, but I'm sort of pleased to hear that, because that's exactly what I thought I was seeing when I watched the fight, which is that it sort of reminded me of old, and not to compare them too much as fighters, because who was better and who I love way more, but it reminded me of the old Maravilla Sergio Martinez knockdowns, where Maravilla,
Campeón.
Yeah, I mean, he's my campeón, and I don't mean like it's when especially those last two fights in his career where the knee was not responding, campeón, and he'd go out there and just really had no balance, and things would just tip him over.
That was an equilibrium shot in the first knockdown. Can we just be fair on that?
That's not true at all. All right, and Homer knows it. All right, we could take that to the big house. We could take that to whatever they call that thing down in Columbus and talk about it there. But because he's in Ohio and I'm in Michigan, you see.
Thank you.
You got that. Yeah, fuck the equilibrium shot. But no, it reminded me of Sergio Martinez, where even in his prime, he'd get knocked down on way more than he probably should have been, but then pop right back up and not be hurt. And it was more balance and footwork and shit like that than him being rocked. And I think that was what I thought was happening with Prograis as well. Now, it was alarming that he's getting caught with those clean shots late in almost every round of that 10-round fight with Jojo Diaz, and that even if I agree that he was not rocked and sort of, he seemed clear in his head, it doesn't really help much if the announcers and everyone and people watching the fight at home, and you could probably presume some of the judges are looking at that and being like, oh shoot, he just got hurt, when he really is just not, he's either his balance is not as good as it used to be, his legs are stiff, or he's got terrible footwork. Whatever combination of those factors, that's still not going to help him win fights. But yeah, I agree. I didn't think that he was, his chin is completely gone, and he needs to quit because he's a danger to himself now.
Danger?
No, that wasn't true.
Danger? No. I got to ask you a couple quick questions here. Were you impressed offensively with Regis under trainer K Karoma that when he did work that jab, let's put in proper context who he's fighting, of course. Let's put in proper context his age and the guys he's lost to recently as well. But when he was doing that jab, when he was getting in front, yeah, he kept his chin out there, which made that a back and forth war. But he's not physically washed in executing the game plan.
Yeah, I think look, his hands are still quick. He still has pretty decent power. I think his legs are gone though. Whether that's the cause of his balance issues when he was getting hit, but I also see it in just the way that he moves in and out of. The reason that was effective earlier in his career and more powerful was that he had more explosion coming from his lower body, where he would be able to get in quick, throw those really nice combinations with the jab, the little short hooks, and then get out before taking too much back. It seems like he's at a point in his career where he still has a lot of that hand speed, but he's not able to summon the strength in his legs, both to get in and out quickly and to put more power when he tries to sit down on those shots, to hurt Jojo. And look, Jojo Diaz, I think they were praising his chin throughout the fight. I think he deserves that praise. He is a tough MFer to rock in there. And when it seems like the only time he got stopped was against Duarte, and it was just sort of like, look, man, it's not that you're badly hurt here. It's just you're not going to win this fight, and there's no reason for you to do this. So in any case, I think Prograis is still credible as an offensive fighter. However, you do really have to take in, for both fighters, you sort of have to take into account who they were up against. This looked awesome because they're both old guys who are game and were letting each other get their offense off. And it made for a really fun fight against someone else, against other fighters, more prime guys. Both these guys are getting sent to hell, I think.
They are. And that's the truth. And they gave us an entertaining scrap. There are people that, including the announcing team, that's like, yo, can we just run this back? Regis would say afterwards, and he seemed like he was putting too much value on what this win meant to him. He's like, I'll only do it if Turkey pays for it and there's a title on the line. And we're like, sorry to inform you that JoJo's lost 7 of 9 now. I mean, but
what if Turkey's paying $150 a round for it and the title is the TKO belt?
Well, yeah, UBO season. Let's go. Do you think that, well, okay, people are saying poor man's Gotti Ward. We can also slow the roll a bit on that one. Fun action fight between two old guys. It's exactly what I'm looking for.
Prograis is going to survive the round.
But we got to talk. Do you think they will end up rematching, or do you think Regis Prograis will end up getting B-side opportunities against names at 40 and 47 off of this? Because this was a welterweight bout, I believe.
Yes, yeah, but somehow that those guys were smaller than Oscar Duarte on Saturday night.
They both weighed 142 coming in. Prograis was 142 and a half, 142 for JoJo. And it was, by the way, for the record, 96-94 on 2 scorecards, and then that one wide one that made no sense, 98-92. I also didn't like Mannix's scorecard, which had JoJo up heading into the final round and was a draw in the end, but that's neither here nor there. I also scored Thurman over Pacquiao, and I stand by it. Keep going. Thank you.
The zone team seemed like they thought JoJo won the fight, which I didn't really agree with, but it's not insane. It was a close fight. Both of them, it's a good fight for even in the loss, JoJo. To be that close, to have sort of won the story of the fight, to quote Max Kellerman, and people are going to want to see him again. Maybe not in their DMs, especially not underage women, but boxing fans will want to see him in the ring.
I hope JoJo gets more fights from this because he's young. I know the 7 losses and 9 fights, but he did show, he's only 32. He did show somewhat of a renewed spirit. He's got a great chin. His power didn't seem like it sucks even at this welterweight weight class, but he's also fighting an older fighter. We got to talk about the star of the broadcast, though, and that was the ringside doctor during this fight. Shout out to Nikki V. How about that ref who said, so it was the doctor, not the ref, who said, how many fingers am I holding up? And JoJo failed the test like 2 to 3 times.
It was 4 out of 5 is what I counted.
And then the doc's like, yeah, you're good. Go back out there and crush those brain cells. We love ridiculous comedy. I mean, it's kind of the thing that got us together in this relationship of boxing love. We love the absurdity of the sport. The guy at the Diego Chavez fight doing this, remember that guy? Remember that guy? That was great.
Yeah, look, that was a terrible decision, man. Chavez deserved to win that one.
Yeah, we love that shit. What the hell is the justification for that ringside doctor? What, seriously, like what?
He's probably a veterinarian. That's all. I mean, I don't know. Look, did you want him to stop the fight? He just shouldn't have. Don't administer it. Look, lesson to ringside doctors: don't administer the test. Right? Yes. Because it pretty clearly determined that Jojo Diaz could not see or could not see the difference between 1 and 2 fingers out of his left eye, and he did get the one in his right eye correct, but. It didn't really affect. He fought about the same through the rest of the fight. He came on strong down the stretch. So it doesn't really, I don't think that the fight, while I guess if you're just judging it, like, look, can this guy really see right now? No, but boxers boxers, they're pretty experienced. Yeah, I agree, Brody. It's like, what, age ain't nothing but a number. Fingers ain't nothing but a thumbs. He got,
I mean, 16 will still get you 20, bro. Okay. All right. What would you do if your son was at home?
He always hits on 15.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I guess that's just the box. That's just the ridiculi that we deal with. I mean, it's kind of like, don't investigate where the money comes from in boxing because you don't want to know, right? That's what it is, right? So if you want to stop good fights, if you want to stop good fights before they happen, don't stop guys from getting blinded, right? That's what happened to Layman Brewster, right?
That is true. Yes.
There we go.
Yes, I agree.
Brody Merritt, I know BC wished Oscar, but yeah. So what do you make? Unrelated, but briefly related because it's ridiculous. What do you make of Turkey posting 75 consecutive tweets of people under the heading of gunpoint? Probably were wishing AG because he is him. We know that. Does he use hims.com? Maybe, but he is him. It was almost like each time they're like, should I say more? Okay. Yes. Yeah. Like, and then even Ring posted like a 9-minute collab with all these. What the hell's happening here? Do we even have to explain this?
I mean, I think the explanation is pretty self-evident, right? I mean, you have sort of a megalomaniac with a ton of money running the sport, and that's okay. That's, a lot of powerful people are megalomaniacs in their own ways. Turkey is in maybe the cringiest, corniest way possible. That's cool. I don't really care. It was funny, man. I mean, whatever. If they're gonna,
it was kind of funny.
At least we can laugh at it. I
hope we cry one day.
I hope they replace the. Remember, we all used to go crazy. We all used to go wild when Top Rank and before a big fight, Top Rank plays the "This Is Boxing" video before the main event. We got Pryor Arguello, we got Hagler Hearns in there. Just all the great Pacquiao fights, Oscar fights in there, and it's just all this history bubbling up. We just trash that and just have "This Is Turkey" and have, people be just all of Turkey's greatest moments doing this and shaking hands with people and, throwing people into prison cells, peeing
calling
on
him Jack White. Jack Paul. Sorry, Jack Paul. Shout out to Detroit's Jack White, right? Of the White Stripes, right?
Yeah. He's a regular at Tigers games.
That's cool. And as Matt from Brunch, hey, my guy Matt Brown from Brunch Boxing, shout him out, right? I love that. I love those guys. That guy, Easy Raw.
He's putting us to shame. He's actually doing the work.
He is, but we never, we did get. I mean, look, Leo Santa Cruz named his second son Alan, and I think that's magic. I think that's beautiful. Okay, there we go.
It's not too late. Al is still alive. They can, in fact. Let's see it for everyone. See tributes to Grandpa Bob, tributes to Al, tributes to Oscar. Oscar, I just hit me up on the low. I got your birthday present here.
2 words for you, Oscar: fish scales. Okay, yeah, it's a long way from the nose to the line, and I think you know what that means. Question matchup Monday here from A-Rob: Regis versus Campbell. Washed versus washed. Do you like that?
I can't say I dislike it. I mean, you know what? If we're going washed versus washed, it's not too late to bring someone out of retirement, right? Why not make that rematch between Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor, right? I mean, washed versus washed.
I mean, Josh Taylor retired, but
I said he just retired a couple of months ago. Come on.
All right.
That's not real.
I mean,
leave some money in front of that guy.
There we go. Brody's got a question here that I think is some people are saying after watching JoJo Regis. My only question is, how bad is Devin Haney? See, I don't agree with this because Devin lit both guys up, right?
I can't remember the JoJo fight, but I mean, I imagine he would have. And he looked. I mean, it's too bad for Devin Haney's reputation at the moment. How big of a cliff Regis Prograis seems to have fallen off. Like, it is very easy to watch his career progression and be like, oh, actually, that might not have been a big win. He might have just caught someone who was well on his way out of the sport. Like you're beating late career Mike Alvarado here. It's hard. It's impossible to judge for sure.
Wait, you mean this guy?
Yeah. Haney, look, Haney will continue fighting at a high level. And if he doesn't look good, then yeah, we probably will go back and look at that fight as not nearly as impressive as it seemed in the moment.
Well, 10 soldiers and Nixon's coming. We're finally on our own. Speaking of Ohio, Homer has entered the chat. Shout him out for that's our Homer, right? Or is that?
Hell yes, it is our Homer.
All right, Homer says, "Yo, BC and Rafe, is it time for?" And by the way, thank you for your support of this chat, Homer. Is it time for boxing to cut back on weight? Yeah, it's been time, dude. Okay, there's 17 and a half if you count Bridgerweight. If so, which one should go, Rafe? How about cruiser back to 190 pounds from 200 where it is now, in Bridger at 2? Well, first of all, we're going to remove Bridger from the conversation. Okay. That was a brief conversation. Thank you. Rafe, if you had to cut down the 17 or 18 weight classes, remember there was the original 8. What is the happy medium to improve the sport in your eyes?
I have an inherent resistance to how I'd fix it style content. I think just too much time at Grantland over the years having to read like how I'd fix every league, how I'd fix every TV show, and it never happens, and all the ideas are bad off jump. However, you want my bad ideas off jump? I would say a few different ways to attack this. Just go back to the original 8. It probably will be a challenge for the sport because those are big wide gaps, but at least it would be simple. It'd be simple. Split the difference, make it 12. That kind of makes sense to me. What would I cut if we're going down from 18 or 17 to 12 weight classes? I guess, look, Bridger can go. However, there's also there's actually a better argument for having some kind of intermediate thing for gigantic people or for for people who used to be heavyweights and can't really compete at that size anymore, with the exception of the greats like Usyk,
and Mike Perez,
and Mike Perez. However, but since Bridger has been so whack in its brief lifetime, let's just pretend it never happened and get rid of it.
Please.
Then I guess
12?
Yeah, I'd say we shoot
14?
for 12. So what do we lose then? We lose Bridger. We lose. I feel these little guys are making great fights. By the way, that reminds me, we need to talk about our guy Carlos Canizales and that fight as well. You put me onto it.
Just brought something up.
You made me care about it, and I bet you didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch it yet, but here's Hank Williams IV. Either of you hardcores, I'll leave my hardcore card at the door. Did you watch Carlos Canizales score that KO5 of Prada
3 is what they were saying.
To avenge his loss and take the 108 title? Absolute war. Both guys were down.
Agree.
What'd you say?
Agree. That fight was awesome, man. There is a fourth. When the Thailand guy, when Pranya knocks down Canizales in the 4th round, it is one of the craziest knockdowns I've ever seen. Like, Canizales, it happens so fast, and it's such a gigantic overhand shot that Canizales goes like flying across the ring into the ropes, like off his feet. But it was such a clean, fast shot that it was like by the time that he hits the ropes and bounces back, he almost doesn't know that he got knocked down or would have been knocked down. And the ref has to give him a count. And he's just ready to go as soon as it's over. It's one of those knockdowns that is the punch was so hard, it like woke him up. It was.
Hold on. How hard?
And I hit him hard, really hard. Like an old school elbow from Rafe Boogs in, at the, what is that place called? The hotel, this Enchanted Hotel or something.
No, the Philippine Grand Garden. Never screwed so man. No. By the way, that thing's resurfacing.
I know.
Luke Thomas has never been more excited in his life than when he texted me that the other day. And I'm like, dude, we've been doing Bob orgies since the beginning.
Yeah, we helped introduce that to the boxing lexicon. But no, this knockdown is so great. Like, if there had not been ropes there, it legit looks like Canizales would have gone another like 10 feet in the air before landing on the ground. And then he gets up. They just go straight back to war for like the rest of it. It happened early in the 4th round. They go straight back to war. And then Canizales wins it on just a disgusting body shot. And by the way, Pano loves him, whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Yeah.
But it's just a classic hard as iron fucking Thai guy kickboxer style, just straight punches, nothing fancy, quick catch and shoot counters, strong as motherfucking hell. Very
I
fun.
think it's pronounced Prim Saripapat.
Come on now.
Shout out. I used to work with her.
Yeah, she has like she changed her whole career up. She got a PhD. She's doing big
things. She plays tennis. She went pro.
She was at Duke, right? Man.
Yeah, shout out. By the way, shout out to Pablo Torre, signed by the New York Times and the Athletic. Okay.
I don't know if that's a good or bad deal, but I hope it's a good deal.
I sit in that same chair every Monday that he finds out. Luke Thomas is always like, he's going to find out that I shit my pants in that chair. And I'm like, okay,
Are you still going to be allowed into the studio now that they're with the Times, or is the Times going to take it away and be like, like Diddy used to say on Making the Band, I'm taking the keys to the studio. Actually, that was Dave Chappelle.
Yo, Diddy and Ghislaine are about to get pardoned. Okay, that's what I'm talking about right now. Weird stuff. Hey, I got more things to share here. Let's go to Zachary Taylor, former president. BC, thank you so much for the anniversary shout out on MK. Then asking Luke if he cared, and he says, I don't think we're running a hip hop station. Too good. Great way to kick off the year. Happy anniversary to you and your beautiful wife there, Zach Taylor. Thank you for the support on this pod. How many years are you in the lovely lady at right now, Rafe, in your marriage?
In terms of actually being married or just being together?
Married. Both. Hit me with both.
I've been together for 11 years, married for 2.
All right. I've been together for 19, married for 18. There you go. There it is. Whoop. There it is. Shout out to Zach getting it done there as well. We got more from Homer, still supporting this pod, brother. Thank you, homie. It was an equilibrium shot from Mr. Nuts. This is something you're going to have to understand. Would the knee have broken anyway? Probably. But that shot, that's the same shot AJ got hit with against Ruiz. And you know this, man. Homer would go on to say, but going back to Ohio, who are the greatest OH fighters of all time? Old Ezzard Charles to new the bomb, Alicia Baumgartner.
Homer is asking this question like he doesn't know who he's talking to here. Like we have informed opinions on boxing history. So thank you for pretending that you don't know that we don't. And I'll try and answer that. Ezzard Charles is a very good answer, right? I mean, He is, I believe, even the Lee Groves and who's that other old boxing scene guy? Oh man, I forgot his name. He used to be the managing editor.
Rick Versace Reno?
No. Anyway, even the Lee Grosses of the world will say that him and Archie Moore are the 2 greatest light heavyweights ever.
Yes. Also, Lee Groves lives in Friendly, West Virginia. That's a
nice town. Nice town.
He's a friendly man. I really like Lee Groves.
The people, the hardcores, the people who never give up on this sport and manage not to be an asshole over as long a time as guys like Lee Groves and I mean, like they're some of the best people on the planet because of how
John Beirut. People that know.
Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor is very high on that list. I know maybe
Sean Porter.
I love his daddy, but come on now.
Adrien Broner, Kelly Pavlik. How about Ray Boom Boom Mancini, Hall of Famer.
Interesting.
Robert Easter Jr.
All right, stop that. Yeah, Jared Anderson.
Okay. Who else we got?
Otha, what was his name? Otha Jones the third.
Okay. Michael Dokes, Abdullah Mason.
Stop. What are you doing?
James Buster Douglas. Okay.
Come on, man.
That's not bad. Former heavyweight champion.
Yeah. This is like greatest of all. We just said the names of Ezra Charles and Aaron Pryor, the Hawk.
Here, James J. Jeffries. That matters, right?
Yeah, he's the number one white supremacist in boxing history, right? Or was that?
I think it was him, or maybe it was the court. Yeah, no, it was Jeffries. Yeah. Ron Lyle. Shout out to him. Jake impressive. Paul. Okay, that's a real thing.
No, not even a boxer.
Anthony Hanshaw once lost to Roy Jones. Okay, no.
I mean, incredible Tuesday night fights. That one of the greatest clips ever when he comes in and does the dancing. He's got the whole New Jack swing. Like they come in like a Boys to Men concert, and then just get sent to hell comically in the first round. What outstanding stuff.
Yeah, Lazy Bed adding some of those names that we hit, some that we didn't. Thank you very much. One more from Hank Williams here on the topic we discussed earlier. He says Haney barely beat JoJo and couldn't stop Regis, although he did drop him and won every round. Brian Norman going to stop him unless Haney pulls out. Now, your pullout game has not been strong since that time you took the bus to Choate Rosemary. Okay, I see you. Do you believe we will see Haney Norman in November?
I'll go to a prep school to get things to dirty it up for a weekend.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Do you think that Haney will fight Norman, and do you think he can win?
What's the current status of talks? It sounded like that was.
It's on. It's just that Sean Porter has already predicted from the beginning that Haney's going to pull out, and other people are agreeing that it's. I don't know.
Look, and I also agree that I think the time is ripe for Norman to win that fight. He hasn't proved it against a really good fighter yet, and people might even debate whether Haney is that at this point in his career, but he's better than the guys, or it would mean a lot to have that kind of win against Devin Haney.
Yeah. And by the way,
he's not going to make it look easy.
Shout out to Tuesday Night Fights. Nando's right. Lara Home, he hit me. And then the drop kick off the hood of that car. Awesome. Hazel, you missed it early. I'll be rambling tomorrow. Time TBA, but I'll be there. Thank you very much. Also from Hank, he noticed our Mike Perez reference. He says it's Mike Perez fight week. Dude, what year is this? The Rebel is back in action versus an Argentina cruiser and another tune-up. By the way, did you also see there's going to be a fight in Libya on DAZN?
I believe it's that card. He's on that card. Mike Perez will be stepping in the ring, not the rim.
Orlando Cruz is back.
Benghazi, Benghazi, all right, the Benghazi, all right. Call a hearing. Get Logan back. He'll tell us everything about Benghazi, all the conspiracies. All right, two more. Will Hillary be there? Should be the honorary ring announcer.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just getting a little too deep for you. I see.
Yeah, I'm out of my depth there. I got too much going on. Also, we've got poolside JVD. That's Bloke, right?
That's
Oklahoma's finest.
Do you understand what he's talking about there?
No. Can you catch me up to speed on this?
Jack Golke was the 28-year-old super duper senior on the Oakland Grizzlies men's basketball team when they upset Kentucky in the first round of the tournament 2 years ago. And it was funny because I go to Oakland games fairly regularly because they're really cheap and it's close and I can, whatever, it's fun. And every time I went, I could not stand Golke. I was like, get this guy off the court. This old man, all he does is stand out there and chuck. And he did not shoot well on the handful of games I went to see him in. But clearly he had the coaches' trust for a reason. And he showed out in the playoffs. I was like, I can't believe this guy who I've been talking shit about all season.
Is he a stretch four like yourself?
No. He's, he's about my height. He's like a 6'3", but an actual college level guard who can really shoot it and has good range. And he showed it at the highest, at the greatest stage possible.
Just for my interest, could you have played college ball, like even D3, NAIA?
Easy D3, yes.
Easy D3.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. I was recruited at D3, but they were not schools I wanted to go to, and I don't know, I just didn't care enough.
All right, I know you went to Fame High School with Max Kellerman. Did your school play against like really good?
Yeah, I was there for my first 2 years. We played against some very good schools. Norman Thomas back then had Luis Flores, who went on to play for the Nuggets, and actually had a great career at the Jaspers. I know you loved Manhattan Jaspers.
I love the Manhattan Jaspers. Stephen McDowell.
Lou Flores was, and they had a really tall guy. I forget where he played afterwards, but he played college. And then Seward Park was very good. Washington Irving was very good those years.
Cardozo. Boys and girls.
I mean, Cardozo was out. We were playing in the Manhattan division. So
Manhattan not as good as Queens.
No, it's not. Cardozo was a powerhouse. I mean, they had Darryl Hill back then, and Ryan Washington and Royal Ivy. I played against Omar Cook in the summer.
He cooked you. You let him cook, bro.
They beat us. I came on and I had a good second half. I let a little, a lot of intangible stuff.
All right, rapid fire. Could you hit the three in high school?
In high school, no, I could, but I just didn't have any. I wasn't empowered. I wasn't, I wasn't. It was the late 1990s, man. I was playing. I went from. I started off as like a power forward, then played the three and a little, in high school, and then moved out to guard in college. And I learned that I could hit it, but it never occurred to me. We weren't even look. It was back then, especially in New York, like nobody even wanted to shoot threes. You don't get any respect for shooting an outside shot. You need to get end ones every time. All right. I want to finish with the foul. Otherwise, I'm not really proud of the bucket.
Can I hit it in the morning? By the way, were you all in on Emile, or did you think she had a butterface when she showed up on that Jay-Z track?
Yeah, she was not. I wasn't into her.
I was into it.
Terrible.
I like a la pula, Alizé and Baca. Late night, can I get a caca? Right? You know what I'm talking about right now. You know this shit. What did you average senior year in high school for points per game?
I think 19.
Wow.
I had a 38-point game.
Wait. Was Smush your age?
He's a year older than me, but was classified in my grade.
So he was a senior when you were on the same team.
Not in high school. He played at Newtown.
He was like travel league with you.
Yes.
Were you the offensive star of the team?
No. We had a guy really much more talented than me as a finisher. Ross Weiser. Guy was just great hand. I was more of a connector. I'm not very. You would need to put me in positions where everybody else sucked, and then all of a sudden I could score the ball. But when I was playing on decent teams, my mentality wasn't right. I would look to, I was more of I just had that team mindset, which was good. I helped teams be good, but I never really played my best, I think. And coaches hated me for that because they'd see me busting ass in practice. And then be like, yo, how come you're not doing this in the game, man? And I'd be like, cause I'm trying to be good to my the guy he was open.
I'm white, coach. Okay.
That too, plus I was playing again with guys who were just way better than me outside of school. And then in school, I was should have been looking for my shot a little bit more, but it was hard I couldn't go from one mindset to the other. You haven't known me since I was a serious basketball player though.
I've never asked. I've been friends with you for 11 years. I've never known that you were a 19-point per game scorer in New York City high school basketball, dude. That's not nothing.
It was PSALB though. I don't care. The league had gotten a little weaker, and it wasn't. In any case, I had a good week, but it was.
You had a 38-point game, bro. I had a 20
against who? Kemonte Edwards. He went out and he played, and Jason Stamper. They played at Jason Stamper played at Minnesota. He was on that team, Central Park East. They were nice that year.
Like I had in an ESPN B League playoff game, 22 points and 20 rebounds to take us to the semifinals. But I'm literally playing against like accountants. Okay. You know what I'm saying? In fact, that game, they had no subs and their center was in foul trouble. So I was just going at it. You're in New York City basketball, scoring 19 a game and dropping 38 in the late 90s. Rafe, I have respect for you. Respect, brother.
Respect. I don't really just it's New York. We all knew how to play. We're all good. I was just another guy.
You're just okay. Well, you're my guy. Okay. Well, That was weird. All right, let's hear from Saul. We love this man from Louisville. He's in somebody's gutter right now. He might steal your girl too. Thank you for your support. It's State Fair season, or it will be soon this fall. We have in New England the Big E, which covers all of New England. It's in Springfield, Mass. It's decent. It ain't no Texas State Fair. All right, this ain't no hoedown, right? What is your go-to food items at the fair? What are your fair experiences? Because you only live in big cities. Is there a Michigan State Fair?
Yeah, there's a Michigan in Lansing. They also county fairs are also pretty good around here. I went to one county fair out in West Michigan for because they had a Sam Hunt concert there, and go see the good like pop country shit, where he's like doing the weird talk rapping country. It was fun. I usually end up going to one county or state fair each year. I hate the food, all the food though. What I love?
Yes, it's the best.
It's so gross. I get it. It is awesome, but it just feels so terrible to eat. I can't do it anymore. What I do like to do, but I'm getting scared and more scared as I get older, and see more of these things killing people, is ride carnival rides. I love me the zipper.
No. Don't do it.
All that weird one that, where you're spinning in a circle, but you're also on this giant tall like barbell thing, and it's flying, it's moving. But
Poppy,
every year
your son's gonna die. Okay.
Yeah. But I love those things. Because I grew up at Coney Island. To me, Coney Island is like a permanent, nonstop state fair.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
All I have to do is take the subway down there. I could ride. You don't understand how great Coney Island was back in the day, Brian. Or maybe you do, because you're old and you might have been there.
No, you gotta ask.
Somebody should take you. You got your boys. Yeah,
you
you got your boys, the Quinn boys. They're from Brooklyn. They know.
They went to Zavarian. Shout out to R.I.P.
Now
Jimmy
those
Quinn.
guys could. That guy Chris, he can play. He was a real.
Yeah. His brother. No, but his little brother played an Army. What was his name?
Joe. I'm sorry.
Jolt and Joe. Yeah. Jolt and Joe. I went to one of his games. Army at CCSU.
He played a year at Notre Dame too. He was nice. Anyway. But no. Let's Coney Island back in the day, the hellhole. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, this was the greatest Gravitron ever. It was like the original Gravitron. It was painted had a picture of the devil on it. And you know how today, if you get on one of those machines, it goes around in a circle. You stick to the wall. It's got padding, and
Those are the worst. Don't do it.
And it goes up, 6 inches of feet off the ground.
It'll scramble your brain, bro.
Look, maybe Regis Prograis shouldn't be riding it, but I'm okay.
You got to go with. I go with the turkey dinner wrap that has a complete Thanksgiving dinner inside a wrap. I always rock with that at the fairs. I grew up my grandparents lived in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, which is basically West Virginia. And they got a big ass fair where like the whole town shuts down. And I used to dominate that. I always paid $1 to see the world's smallest horse. I was into that. But you don't get down with that type of shit food. It's the best, man.
I appreciate it, but it's so hard to eat. By the way, don't sleep on California county fairs. LA County Fair, Orange County Fair, much better, like much different. You get a whole different feel, because it's like, it's still, they have fair food, they have fair rides. It's grimy. You got all the things you like about it.
They got Mexican food there? Because county fairs don't got Mexican food, bro. Okay. It's like fried dough
they have all of that, plus, some of the things you will find in Southern California. But what else do you find in Southern California that you don't find out here in the Midwest?
Cholos?
Well, that too. But I'm talking more, you got like, a lot to look at those county fairs.
Oh, you talk about talent. Okay, dude, we're falling behind. I got a lot to get to, but real quick, Monzo wants highlights of you. Do you have highlights for a future show?
It was the late 90s, man. I don't think there's any video of me ever.
Your dad didn't have like the camcorder and like rocking it?
No, my dad was not a camcorder dad. He took still photos. That's about it.
I'd see those. One more from Monzo. Who's the best player that ever dunked on you?
Ed McCants.
I don't know that bloke.
That was in college back, or maybe no. Eddie Elizma dunked on me in the Philippines.
In the Philippines? What?
Yeah. formerly of Georgia Tech, Eddie Elizma, also a New Yorker. I don't know what he was doing in Manila. He just showed up at the gym. He had played there a couple of years before, but I guess he was just visiting.
Kevin G shouting out the LA County Fair with Earth, Wind, and Fire Tower of Power.
He's speaking my language. That's all of the Tia hits, that's all Art LeBeau shit. I mean, that's straight right down the pipe.
Plus, a lot of tortas, if you know what I mean.
I like a good sandwich. I do know what you mean.
Okay. Hey, let's get back into the box. Let's run through these quickly. Look, Ryan Garcia and Oscar are back feuding. I think it started when Oscar posted that dong video with predictions, and then Ryan quote tweeted and said, "This is a grown man. This is embarrassing as a promoter. I really hope that you get the help you need. You're a mockery. You're a cokehead." Maybe that was in reply to when people thought Oscar was gaslighting Ryan by putting out that he needs help mentally, blah, blah, blah. Well, that escalated on. And then we saw Ryan put a weird video out on the internet in the last week where he's on the phone at a party. He's like, "No, Oscar, don't call me again unless it's 20 million. Click. You got, Ryan would go on to say that was fake and that he fooled everybody and that we're all old and we fell for it. But at the end of the day, they're feuding. He claims he only has one fight left with Oscar. Then he's out, probably in Turkey's bosom. Can these two keep it together, or is Oscar destined to lose other good-looking fighters who he's jealous of? Like, seriously, is this where we're at?
Yeah, he's destined to lose Ryan Garcia. So what? All right. He's already made a pretty healthy buck off of this clown. And I imagine that his future career earnings in the ring probably aren't going to be that much, probably going to be less than what he has already made. Yeah, that's true. I was, come in there intense and a lot of sweat when you're working with me. But Brian, I guess to me, this seems like a pretty good situation for Oscar. Like, first of all, whether or not Ryan Garcia is telling the truth, I wouldn't believe him, right? Why would you take anything he says seriously? Is there any reason to believe he even knows the terms of his own contract? I know he's got a good lawyer still, right? He's still with Guadalupe, whatever his last name is in LA. Very good fight lawyer. So I'm sure he knows the answer, but I don't know if Ryan knows the answer. And if Ryan wants to go off and make his own $20 million fights, as long as Oscar has paper on him and it's legit, that's free money for Oscar every time Ryan, okay, I made a deal with Turkey. Can I go do it? It's a bigger fight than anything you're offering me, Oscar. Oscar says, all right, I don't care. Go get your ass beat and I'll take my cut. All right. You still have to cut me in. It's just, it's like you're paying an opponent step aside money every time. And until Ryan makes good on whatever the terms of that contract are, Oscar can get paid off of every Ryan Garcia fight. So good, let him do whatever he wants. And if he wants to make fights with Golden Boy for whatever is available, whatever they can credibly sell, then they'll do that. And I'm sure they'll make money off of that too. I feel like Oscar is the promoter. The promoters usually don't lose in this. When Ryan moves on and he's off contract, good for him. God bless. Good luck to you. Somebody else will make some money off of his dumbass. Who cares?
All right, there we go with that one. Also, we've got a handful of Jake Paul news all in one. I want to get whether you care what you think about this. So in response to I think it was Piers Morgan who led this brigade of going back on the Jake Paul fights are rigged thing. Jake Paul has hired this super attorney who represents Elon Musk and many other power players, and now him and Nikisa Badarian of MVP Promotions are outwardly threatening on Twitter that anybody who has said his fights are rigged will now be in court and will be sued. This ain't how we act in the box, right?
Absolutely not. I mean, we were ready. We had pitchforks and torches ready to go after. Well, let's keep torches out of the discussion. We had pitchforks ready to go after Devin Haney when he filed that lawsuit against Ryan Garcia. Like, this is not how fighters act. This is way worse. He's not even going after. Jake Paul isn't even talking about going after someone who wronged him and got caught cheating in the ring like Ryan Garcia did against Devin Haney. He's talking about, it sounds like it applies to like just random dumbass, like my dumbass. If I step out of line, they might throw me in there. Just even fans who have even less of a professional. I don't consider myself doing anything professionally in the sport of boxing. However, you could say that I have a little bit more of a stake in it than a fan on the internet or Richard Dwyer, another person on the internet. But they, so we're going to start just suing everyone, treating it like the record companies did, people who used to download music off of Napster or Audio Galaxy. It's ridiculous. It makes him look silly. It's not how fighters act. And again, there's an easy way to try and diffuse some of these criticisms that the fights seem fake. Stop making fights that seem that strain all credulity, right? These are not credible fights. You're not fighting. He has fought one other professional boxer who was still active in the sport or remotely active in the sport, and he lost to Tommy Fury, who basically hasn't tried boxing since because he didn't really want it. He was after that, the closest we get is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who was, not competitive as a boxer in any serious way for the better part of a decade before they fought. And had been in all kinds of weird, suspicious looking, crazy. The reason you can't say it was fake is because these fights don't make any sense, and they aren't involving actual competitive professional athletes in the first place. So there's no way to judge it against any kind of baseline or yardstick. So yeah, you don't know it's fake. It could just be a washed guy versus an amateur, and who the hell knows how that's going to play out in the ring. It looks so. If Jake Paul wants people to stop questioning the results of his fights, then make some fights that seem like real, act like you want to be a real competitive boxer. And also,
truth.
Also, what are the damages? What exactly is Jake Paul not getting? Jake Paul's hurt feelings are not damages in a court of law. So how is this monetarily hurting him? In fact, I think it probably helps him, right? He probably is making money every time someone, whether it's someone commenting on TikTok or Twitter or YouTube, or a professional boxing commentator is saying, I don't believe this is even real. All that does is get more publicity for Jake Paul and allow him to make more money in whatever his next weird event is. It's all bullshit. And on top of that, it seems like a real misstep. And look, this could be me, just the point in time when old guys like me are so out of touch, we can't realize a good play when we see one in whatever fucking dystopian world we're living in today. But to me, usually the one thing you can't question is Jake Paul's business savvy, right? He knows how to play this social media, modern attention economy game as well as anyone. But this seems like it can't help him in any way. It makes him look like a pussy.
Wow. Holy shit.
You just touch gloves. Why do you need to touch the gloves again? You just touch gloves.
Okay, I can't argue with any of that. I agree. And I wonder if look, that's UK shit. I'm sorry to say. That's some Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn shit, suing people when they, say something bad about them. And I wonder if it's in response to the fact that Jake was sued in a joint lawsuit by Eddie Hearn and Connecticut-based Judge Glenn Feldman for those comments when he kind of recklessly said that Eddie Hearn had paid off the judges in the Joshua Usyk fight, or was it the Serrano-Taylor fight? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they settled. And by the way, Glenn Feldman, I told you, handed me that shirt that says the problem judge to celebrate him settling it. So maybe it's it happened to me. Let me do it to everybody else type of thing. It's lame. Let's stay on the lame thing here. Do you remember when Jake Paul signed real fighters? Amanda Serrano, the first young prospect, was unbeaten Ashton H2O Silv, who got sent to hell by Lucas Body, who was supposed to be the opponent. Then MVP signed Body, and now they're pushing him. A lot of people were wondering what happened to H2O. Dude, he's come out with some serious tweets where here's the first one. It says, the way MVP handled this doesn't sit right. I helped build that platform when people saw it as influencer boxing, blah, blah, blah. I didn't duck. I stepped up. Floyd Schofield pulled out. I fought Lucas Body on short notice. And now H2O saying MVP and Body will not consider a rematch. And I thought Jake was my brother. I thought MVP was my team. And yet I got a release letter instead of supporting me. No call, no convo, just cut. They went back and forth, in fact, with MVP putting out a statement that it never signed Silv exclusively and it was only an advisory deal. Does this look really bad for Jake Paul, the promoter, or does no one give a fuck?
I don't think anyone cares at all, because this is what a promoter, gassed you up, then a promoter gassed you up and then disappeared when everything fell apart. You had and ghosted you. Welcome to boxing, right? Like, you have described exactly how every other major promoter will treat you. Feel free to go on with your career, but that's and it doesn't mean you're done, right? You get back in the lab, whatever, improve, find another promoter. Just being on that platform, someone will give him a shot on an undercard, see if he's got anything. But
call Mr. Cancer, call Zuffa, call somebody.
Boxing, man. They're not going to treat you right. All right. If you want, if you want that, I don't know where to go in the world, period. Oh man, my boss doesn't really care about me. Yeah. Get in line, take a number. Who cares?
Wow, I love this. I love when Rafe gets spicy. Let's close out the Jake Paul spicy conversation by asking this. He's teasing that there's a fight coming against Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn says it's 50-50. A lot of people are coming out and being like, yo, Jake, Poppy, they're going to kill your son. I mean, you're going to die. There's just as much teasing about a possible freaking Tank Davis fight for Jake, who's putting out social media posts on top of a Tank. I don't want either of those fights, but I do hear people on the inside saying Jake's only entertaining the AJ fight because he needs money for his promotion, because they thought they were going to raise a ton, somewhere upwards of 100 million this year, and were unable to do that. The people that used to give out tons of money for combat are now slowly pulling back on that idea, right? Promoters are having a hard time getting any type of broadcast deals these days. What do you believe the mindset is? If he, forget the Tank fight, if he accepts the AJ fight, dude, there's no scenario which he doesn't get knocked out cold and hurt badly. What is the mindset? Is he that?
There is a scenario, but if I tell you, they might sue me for suggesting it. I mean, there is a scenario. But that's the thing. It's crazy to be that ambitious, or at least on paper, right? A fight that he has no business being in the ring with Anthony Joshua or any top 10 heavyweight, right? Is AJ considered top 10? He's probably,
he has to be.
I think he still deserves to be, even with all of his flaws. So if they make that fight and AJ carries him out of sympathy or something, everyone's going to say the same thing. This was fixed. There's no way in the world that Jake Paul doesn't get knocked out by this guy in real life. There's no way. And it'd be hard not to believe that. He's only going to get more people. That's the best case scenario for him. The worst case is that he gets sent to hell like Francis Ngannou did. And that's going to be worse, because he's not even an athlete who's used to getting hit. It makes no sense, but I'd be surprised. Look, I've not been following MVP's business, the rumors about it. I kind of just assumed that it was pretty healthy, because that's the way it, everyone fakes it till they make it. But Jake Paul seems like he's had a lot of hits. People fill up arenas to watch these dumbass fights. However, and to me, it just seems like it's all part of Jake Paul, and his fame machine and his eagerness to sort of, I don't know, groom his online reputation, whatever it is. It doesn't mean anything to me, but he's not selling me anything. He's not, I don't buy the fights. I don't buy his act. I don't, I don't care about his people or his life. But there's a lot of kids out there who do. And I hope that by the time I have kids, and if they're boys, there's some other asshole for them to like who isn't that guy. But it's I don't know. Who cares, man? It's Jake Paul. I don't think that this is all to save MVP, because Jake Paul has a lot of ways to make money. If MVP is a disaster, then he should just cut it loose and move on, right? Boxing is a shitty business. We know this, right? The ones who there's a reason that Top Rank and PBC and all the American promoters and advisors or managerial outfit, whatever the fuck PBC is officially counts as, whatever those are.
Don't be besmirching my people, okay?
I love.
I cash those checks.
Consider they basically I categorize them as a promoter, even though they're not officially.
Sure.
But it's the reason all the legit U.S. promoters who run it like a business have to deliver a lot of shitty product because of the margins on it. Like, you got to pay your fighters well. You need to make it all back on huge pay-per-views, and your week-to-week product kind of gets watered down because there's no way to make to stay out of the red without doing that. And when celebrities come in and try and do it because they're celebrities, the power of all my charisma is going to make me better than all these other folks who've been doing it as a career their entire lives, for generations, in fact. They suck at it. Jay-Z sucked at it. 50 Cent sucked at it. Jake Paul sucks at it, and he sucks at boxing.
Wow. Scorched Earth Rafe is back. I like this. Yeah. Dude, I don't want it anymore. I'm really soured on the Jake experience. I did enjoy the idea earlier this year. If they got that investment money, could they be an American alternative to what Turkey was doing? But I don't know, man. You know, Brody wants Top Rank, BBC, and Golden Boy to join forces. It seems like it would make sense. I mean, a lot of these guys can't even get on TV at the moment. So let's see what the future brings. Let's see. We got to wait on this Ali Act. We got to wait on a lot of things in boxing, but we still got some big fights to get excited about. I mean, they put Moses Atama on pay-per-view next week, which is rough, but I do really care about that fight against Dillian White. I do care about Canelo Crawford. I care about a few things here, but there's a lot of bullshit in this game. Speaking of bullshit, it's fun time. Are you ready for this?
I was born ready, Brian.
Thank you. I have been teasing the bag. You know, you got to play with the bag, right? I've been teasing the bag for years on my reality TV show idea. Let's take the Contender. Let's go season 6. Let's get a Real World house. Let's do season 6 Washed Welters, where we put a bunch of past their prime fighters in and around our favorite sexy weight class and find out what happens when people stop being polite and start getting real. Here is the premise in this imagined scenario, which might be real if Mark Burnett returns my calls. Okay, here we go. Rafe, you and I have been named coaches for this upcoming season 6 of the Contender. All the fighters will live in the same house, given no contact with the outside world, and given a lot of party drugs, alcohol, as many PEDs as the Mexican pharmacy can find, and a lot of bad food. You and I will draft back and forth, making our 8 fighter teams. Here's the rules. These fighters have to be between the ages of 34 and 49 right now. You have to draft them under the guise of you want them to win, but you also need some entertaining MFers for this reality show to succeed right here. They've got to be able to make 147 one time on the first day of the season, and then you can get as fat as possible. And then at the end, we'll whittle our teams down to when my fighter faces yours in the finale, and the winner gets a phone call from Mr. Cancer, right? That's not bad. Also, does not have to send Turkey a video greeting. And on top of that, free health care for life. Sounds like a good premise, right?
Wow. That includes neurology, right?
That does include neurology and urology. Okay, myology. No, I'll take the butcher's word for it. Rafe,
took his brain and his nuts.
So look, this is what it's going to be. Before we draft our fighters, we need 3-man teams to support us, just like any other, the Contender or the Ultimate Fighter game, where you need 3 people under you. Rafe, who will be your 3 supporters on your team to help train and help add to the comedy of this program?
Okay, so this is mostly trainers.
Okay.
Is it? Is that what are you thinking? You give me
whoever
your 3
you
first.
want, bro.
You came up with this shit. You're telling me in the moment. All right, look, I'll go. I'll never jack. I will not jack on this. All right, I'm not going to do any. You know, by the way, to everyone who's listen to our friends Eric Raskin and Kieran Mulvaney do their hypothetical games over the years. I'm not going to do the Raskin where I ask you a million follow-up questions. Yeah. What about this? Oh, how about that? Could I squeeze it? No. All right. I'm an honest man. I'm not looking for loopholes. I want to hit you straight between the eyes and win like men do.
I thought DAZN was going to hit us between the eyes with a lot of good fights.
They didn't. That's not what men do. That's not what DAZN does. Anyway, so let me think. So my 3 helpers. Okay. I want there to be some cohesion, a little bit of rivalry though, right? So we get some, play it up. So I think there needs to be, So I'm going to start with Robert Garcia. He's my favorite trainer.
Ooh, great.
Right.
Now, is he wearing South Coast Mitsubishi, or are you more feeling like Macarena Smog?
Macarena Smog. Like, we got to go with what's current. All right.
Okay.
I want Robert Garcia. I want his brother who adopted VO.
Danny Garcia. Yes.
Yes.
The other Danny Garcia.
Yes.
Okay.
And
this is gonna be awkward. So they have
exactly.
They share backyards, but they do not talk. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And now they're trying. And I'm tempted to get Big G in, the father, Eduardo. That would be fun. But let's we got to go outside of Oxnard for at least one of these picks. And manager to the stars, E from Entourage, Keith Connolly, whatever his name. No. Fuck, no. Screw that. I need a bigger heel than him even. You know who I want Mr. Top Operator himself. Mike Coppinger. I need him in there. Yeah. I need him breaking news about this for my team.
Okay.
I need him just getting mixed up in shit that he has no business being mixed up in. I need his turtlenecks, his Lex Luthor bald head. I need the whole Cop experience. All right. This could become a vehicle for Cop by the end of it.
All right. I like your team. So your team is Robert Garcia, Danny Garcia, the other Danny Garcia, and Mike Coppinger. I'm going to go with Leonard Ellerby, who since transitioning to his Uncle Phil Black Santa days, he has no filter, and it's absolutely fantastic. Okay. So I'm going Leonard Ellerby. I'm going Ruben Guerrero, father of Robert, but he can only wear the black and white cookie t-shirt the entire time, and he's got to say Floyd Rand every time he speaks. And I'm adding the legend, Floyd Sr. Okay, I got to go that direction. All right, Floyd Mayweather Sr. That's my team. Do you remember, by the way, that they did this on like a real bootleg network? Rick Glazer was the executive producer like 8 years ago. They did kind of a show like this where Ruben Guerrero and Floyd Sr. were the coaches, and it like aired on like not even Bravo, like some channel the same channel that the Vargas family's reality show aired on that no one remembers. You know what I'm saying?
I don't remember that either, but it sounds good. Man, I need to look this up. I'm sad I missed this channel, you know.
All right. I didn't tell you any kind of restrictions beyond the age limit here, and they have to make 147 once. Who is, as you are the guest, you'll get the first pick. The first pick in the Contender Season 6 Washed Welterweights draft on Team Rafe is?
Do they have to be active, or can I take people out of retirement?
They do not have to be active.
Okay, I can take people out of it. That's big. That's big. However, number one on my list, and you can vote. Maybe the crowd, maybe the audience can vote this down, or if you get a quick hell no from them, I'm happy to recant. But I think he's washed enough. I saw enough last month to say he's washed enough, and I want some real star power on my team. So I'm starting with the senator from the Philippines, Manny Pacman Pacquiao.
Manny Pacman Pacquiao. Let me take him off of my board. Technically 46 years old. He fits within this. He has a chance to win the whole thing and be in the finale and get that phone call from Mr. Cancer. So Manny Pacquiao. There we go. And do I know what I'm doing here? All right, there's Team Rafe. There's
look at that.
Started off. There we go. Okay, there we go. For my first pick in the draft, okay, I might have to upgrade my talent level if you're going to start there with Manny Pacquiao as I look up and down here. Yeah, I'm going to do it right here. Look, I don't know if he's going to be able to make this weight one time, but we're going to give him enough time to do it. At 41 years old, he's a boxing Hall of Famer. BC going with Timothy Bradley Jr., 41 years old, to kick off Team BC in the Washed Welters tournament. Do you think he can make the 147 one time?
I bet he can, man. Tim Bradley has always had that physique where he blows up and then he gets into the gym and it'll just melt off him. He could do it one more time. Now
bonus for our teams. Does that mean you get Boo Boy, but I get Big Ray?
No, you get Monica.
Oh, God.
See, that's the problem. Monica's not going to let Tim fight. I know Tim wants it. Tim didn't want to quit. But yeah, no, that's a good pick.
Okay.
I'm into it. I like it.
With the second pick in the draft for Team Rafe to join.
I'll take Jinky too, all right, to make it fair. Jinky and Monica, not Boo Boy and Big Ray.
Okay. I'm into that. I like where you're going with that. What is your second pick in the Wash Welters draft?
Second pick. All right. I think he can still get down to this weight. He was always a large welterweight, but he can make it. And I want there to be a little bit of friction within the team as well, not just in my corner.
Are we glazing here or are we edging? Which one? I like the friction. This is good. Yeah.
A little bit of friction, keep it going. You can edge for a long time. And so what I'm saying here, he fights like a tough gang member. He's got the broken rhythm scorpion method of fighting under his belt. And he brings the thunder from down under. I want play the horn, Jeff Horn.
Oh, yeah, right, Jeffrey. Jeff Horn is currently 37 years old.
That's awful.
He fits the mold here, but Rafa,
yeah.
Is he going to make that 147? He has fought at 54 and maybe even 60 in recent years. But if you give him the time, he's got to make it once and then you can get fat. Is this a safe thing to do? Should we?
I say, yeah, look, yes. In my book, I believe in Jeffrey.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Jeffrey. Yeah, right. Jeffrey.
So there's how his Rafe's team is coming together right there.
Not Joe Horn, for the record. All right. That J Horn is not Joe Horn.
Jeff, that is not Joe Horn. Yeah, right, Jeffrey. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to fix this in mid time. All right, the second pick on Team BC in the Washed Welters house in the draft. Look, I was going to pick him number one, but you picking Pacquiao, I had to make sure I got somebody with talent. But the number 2 pick is a 38-year-old who is still fighting. Josecito broke his jaw. Victor Ortiz or Vincent, if you ask the great Barry Tompkins. He is the second fighter on Team BC. So we're I think I do both Garcia brothers hate VO now or just one. Look, all I know is that when I at the fight where Josecito broke VO's jaw, where I was there, they were after VO retired on his stool, which is his right to do. And said, Josecito broke my jaw. After that, the crowd at the Staples Center was just livid. And there were people being like, you're not from Oxnard. Puta, you're not from Oxnard. You're not Oxnard. Go back to Kansas. Anyway, so that's going to make for some good rivalries between the teams because I've got Robert and his brother Danny there training my team. And they're going to want to they're never going to be done with VO. Never going to get enough payback on that guy. Never. So far, how do you think we're doing on entertainment on the show? Bradley can talk. Victor Ortiz on my team. We're going to be on fire. You got Pacquiao and Horn. It's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, that's true. Neither of them is a great seller of fights. Although Horn is a great foil. Like that line where he's like where whoever he was talking, like Zarafa is like just goes on fire and brimstone 90-second tirade about like I want to eat his children basically, and Horn and they're like Jeffrey, any response? And he's like, my fist will do the responding in the ring, mate. And like it's so good, so good.
Teacher that fellow.
It's all about the contrasts.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm going to stay on track. This guy, he talks a lot. He's got a lot of personality. It's hard to understand any of the words that come out of his mouth at this point. But he's got history with VO, and they never settled it in the ring. And it's time for Brandon Bam Bam Rios to join Team Rafe. Get back in the corner with Robert Garcia. And when he's taking it to VO, have Robert in there to say, you love this. He's like, man, gusta. He's like, I know you fucking love it. I know you fucking love it, Bam Bam.
Are we going to get Max Kellerman on the show just to get that awkward moment of, you think I'm a punching bag, Max? You know what I mean? That was great. That was great shit right there. All right. Team Rafe coming together. You just added a ton to the entertainment factor. Could he make 47 once? He might be.
Yes. Fast. Yeah. He was a lightweight once upon a time.
All right. I like that. Oh, I should draft Yuri just so we can finally get that matchup. But no.
All Manny and Cotto opponents.
All right. I'm going to go to another side of the earth for this one.
Jim, I got to tell you something. Are these guys Russian or are they just in a hurry?
This guy is the former at 41 years old. He's still alive. He's still on my team. I'm taking Ruslan Provodnikov. Only I'm teaming him with Tim Bradley. Your thoughts?
That's nice. Is Vadim Kornilov going to be there to translate for him? Who is going to be preparing the raw moose liver for him when he gets ready for these wars? But yeah, how could we didn't get enough Ruslan in our lives? He was just rising, and then I don't care if Algieri fought great the last 10 rounds of that and did enough to make it to have a case for winning on the scorecards. Fuck that. We got cheated out of so much more Ruslan, and I'm still a little bitter about it.
All right. These teams are coming together. Early thoughts on who might win this tournament? I'm still picking Manny at this point.
Probably go with Manny. Yeah, certainly. Look, my other two guys are truly washed. So Manny is the only one who right now who's giving Team Rafe a chance.
All right, let's go number 4 on Team Rafe.
Number 4 on Team Rafe. So you just went with Ruslan. I also would like to go not to that side of the world, but to a place where the sport is thriving these days, and I need a good hard man. All right, someone who brings it all the way from the Geordie Shore. All right, he can make this weight now. I don't know. Is he old enough? He's certainly washed enough. The Sandman, Lewis Ritson. I need a bloke on my team.
Dude, that's one of my favorite fighters ever, but I don't know if he's eligible. Let's see. Lewis Ritson,
too young?
age 31, ineligible.
Okay. But he's definitely, well, you give me that he's washed enough, right?
He's washed. Yes,
okay.
Yes, he's
right.
washed.
At least okay. All right. All right. Then I will stay in that side of the world. This guy might be too young too. What about the recently retired Josh Taylor?
Oh, wow. I didn't think of that. Let's see. He's got to be old enough. Josh Taylor age. Let's see. Josh Taylor is 81. That's the actor, Josh Taylor. Sorry about that. From the Hogan family. Shout out to that guy.
James Taylor?
34 years old. Okay. I wonder if this goes against the spirit. He is retired, but he's also is a little washy.
He's washed, man. He looks terrible. VO might beat him now.
Josh Taylor at 34 years old is an accurate pick. Here is how Team Rafe is coming together. I like that. Like
the United Colors of Benetton here. I'm going.
Yeah, indeed. All right, let's go to number 4 on Team B Sizzle right here. Look, I like entertainment. I like the flashy flash, right? As Vlad once said, okay? I love this fella. He's 38 years old. I don't know how long he's going to last in these fights, but at number 4, BC selects Amir Khan.
Oh, yes.
38 years old. And here is how the team is coming together right now. I like this. What do you think? Against these old bodies, you might see a resurgence because that speed's still going to be there, right?
Yeah, look, as long like the same, this will be true of every Amir Khan fight for as long as he's alive. He's going to be ahead until he gets clipped.
People are already shouting out the Welsh Mayweather. They want him on your team. We'll see what happens right there. All right. Yeah. Bring back Wealth TV for the Washed Welters. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's get back to it. Team number 5, player number 5 for Rafe, the fighter number 5.
All right.
On the Washed Welters draft.
I got a lot of things running through my mind right now. My heart is being pulled in 2 very strong different directions.
Yeah.
But there's one fighter I want to make sure that you don't get on.
Okay.
Team
I like that. All
right. And I think that he's probably on your list somewhere, and you're going to regret not picking him yet because you love this man.
I love Ben. Right? Yes, I do. I like beautiful guys. Yes.
Yeah. He is a beautiful guy. Not the greatest shoulder roll fighter in the world. Has some history with Ruben Guerrero and his son. Yeah, you talking, it. The harvest is coming. I want Andre Berto.
Andre Berto, who recently lost that rematch with Robert Guerrero in the final Showtime card ever. 41 years old, still in shape, could probably make the weight easy at 41. I like that pick a lot, and I definitely was going to pick him myself. Andre Berto. Look, I'm telling you, he might be a player in this tournament. Seriously. He might be a player.
I mean, he's probably has let himself go the least of everyone we've mentioned so far.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Okay, so that's number 5 for Rafe, a very savvy pick. No surprise here from this fella. Let's go to number 5 for BC as I look up and down this list. a couple ways I want to go, a couple places, couple directions here. But if we are talking about comedy and we are talking about ratings as well, we don't just want to win this tournament. We want to win people's hearts. We want people to come back and want this. So I'm going with the Can Man at 36 years old. I'm going with Adrien Broner because any of these washed oldies can get it. And he's also trying to get back into shape too. So that's the direction I'm going for my 5th pick overall. And if he does get in shape, he might be able to take out some of the bottom crust in this tournament. Seriously. Okay.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's still going to be able to counter all these guys. He's not. He knows how to box. He just, yeah. Anyway, I like the pick. Okay. I'm glad AB is part of this. He deserves to be part of the Washed
This is
Welter.
built around him in some ways, and I had to get him before you did. Keep it going. Here we go. Number 6.
Here's the thing. This is when you said Amir Khan, I did not. I immediately thought of this rival of his, who I couldn't. The idea of letting you get him hurt me so much. I'm glad it didn't happen. He's a great baker. He makes the little chocolate brownies as good as anyone in the world.
He knocked up Ebony.
All right. He could bring his big fake breastises woman with him to the fight camp. I want the special one. Kell Brook on Team.
Wow, 39 years old. But to be fair,
chocolate brownies. No, he is probably the front runner right now.
I was going to say, to be fair, he's kind of still a little bit close to it, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you get the man that stabbed him on that island too with this pick?
I think that we at least fly him in for an episode, or fly everyone down to Tenerife to go find that man.
Yes, please. I'd like to, what started that argument? That's what I want to know, right? Was it a broken heart? I don't know. I really don't know. But wow, Kell Brook getting the 6th pick from Team Rafa. There we go. All right, let's go over to B Sizzle. Looking up and down my list, still a lot of names I really want. Problem is, most of these names I don't think can put a glove on in a decade. So who really knows right there? But if I want to compete, if I want to win, then I got 2 words for you. You ready for this? 54 Milagros, bitch.
Is that a tequila?
No, that's your Dennis, not mine. Your Dennis Ugas, 39 years old. What is that about? What is that about?
Terrible TV, that guy. That guy couldn't even sell a fight when he was in his prime.
Yo, he beat Sean Porter. Jack Reese missed that knockdown in round 12. You know this.
You could have Ugas. Good luck.
Tell me he can't win this tournament.
Yes. Ugas can. What good is winning this tournament? No, you know what? Because this is a television product, and our producers are gonna make sure that Ugas, they'll let him get as far as the semifinals on merit. After that, he's gone, man. Something's happening to him.
Boring.
Right? They will send him. He will get deported. All right. They'll call our guys. Right? Didn't the contender guy, the producer, didn't he also do The Apprentice?
Yes.
Yeah. So he'll call the Oval Office and make sure that Ugas gets out of there before he wins this show.
Iced out? You're talking about
they will ice him out of this for sure.
Oh my gosh. But this Ugas Pacquiao, that's I need a weapon. I need a weapon. That's somebody that can beat the Senador. Okay, there we go. Pick number 7 for Rafa Boogs. You got 2 more. A lot of good names, a lot of names with talent, and then a lot of ridiculous names left.
It's so much to choose from. This is one he may not be old enough, but he's more than washed enough.
Okay. And we like them extra
washy. And I also think that because this is a little even with Ebony Bridges, even with the lovely Monica Bradley and Jinky Pacquiao involved in the making of this show, it's still. There's not enough for the fellas, right? The fellas like to tune in, for other reasons than just the action.
You're talking about risking it all. That man ain't a welterweight.
Oh, you think that he can't make? No, I am talking about Omar Figueroa.
Oh, wow. That is a left field pick. Let's see.
Who, if he is 34, is certainly washed enough, and he brings
35.
Yes, and he brings the genetics that we need on this show.
Oh my God.
All right. Sydney Sweeney don't have good genes.
So his strength coach is part of this.
Has the genes.
Sister. Wow. Okay. This is a little bit of a left field pick. I didn't see this coming. I like that though. Team Rafe with 1 pick to go. You
and
got
he's a warrior. He's going to be. He's not going to train, but he's going to go in and fight with his balls on the line for 12 rounds every time. Are these 12-round fights? How many people are still going to be alive at the end?
These
of
ain't 12-round fights, bro. These are 5-rounders. How about that? Okay, there must be a winner. 5-rounders. There you go. All right, number 7 for me. Oh man, there's so many buttons I want to press right now. Damn it. I mean, Chris Algieri, I love you at 41. But
I thought about him. I thought about his broadcast partner too.
Who's that? Dan Kenobi?
No, he's still fighting. He's still fighting bare knuckle fights, isn't he?
Who's that? Oh, Paulie?
Paulie?
I forgot about Paulie. Oh my God, I beat Paulie. Okay, I can't do that.
Wait, Paulie and AB together?
All right, dude, I'm not going to
make your pick. You go.
I'm not going to make this pick, but he is 34. I'm not making this pick. But Nico Macias is on my list, but he can't make 47, right?
Pretty fun. I mean, for one day, I would let you get away with it. I mean,
how low can you go? No. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. But all right. I got it. I got this, man. He's 42 years old. English, not so good. Not so good. Okay. Lucas the Machine Matisse. We have a new Manny Pacquiao, and here he is, sir. Look at this team right now. Look at this. Look at this.
I should have. You know what? I wanted the new Manny Pacquiao, whose name is Lucas the Machine Matisse.
Thank you, Eric Raskin's impersonation is still golden.
He does the voices. I can't do the voices.
I mean, that Maccabee Games champion is incredible. All right, so incredible. There we go. All right, Rafe, you've got one more. Now, do you have? Is this going to be tough? Do you have a lot of? Is this going to be a challenge?
Well, look, I'm not. This is the one I'm not going to do because it's clearly so far fetched in terms of making weight that it'll never ever happen.
Okay.
But
you're talking about Chino. You can't do Chino.
Exactly. Because
dude, Chino
if we're
not
gonna go over to Argentina and start grilling. Then
Robert Parrish is not coming through that door.
With
Kevin McHale's not coming through that door. El Chino ain't making anything south of light heavy right now, and you know this.
Like
man.
I said, I know it is. There's just no way in hell. Everyone else you could sort of talk yourself into. Maidana will never sniff 160 pounds again in his life. It's too bad. I want him in there. Yeah, I agree. Maybe he could be like the boss at the end. Look, Maidana should be in the show in some way, but it's against the spirit to say that he could make 147 pounds. Yes. All right, so I don't get Maidana. There is someone I was thinking of. I had in my mind. Well. All right, because I now the decision, I only have one more choice. It's so hard to make. It's going to paralyze me.
Help?
No. I know. I know
10
where
more
I'm going.
names on my list.
No, I want him to compete with. I want him to. I want a little more friction between him and his daddy.
Oh,
so
wow.
You know who I want. Well, not him. I want Robert Guerrero.
Wow, 42 years old. By the way, still fighting, kind of, right? Because his son is fighting. So they've been appearing on some of the same cards. Robert Guerrero is a good pick, but his daddy is on my team, as you mentioned.
Right. There, I want that.
So here is a look at the final roster, the 8-man team of Team Rafa. Pac-Man Pacquiao, the Senador, Jeff Horn, Brandon Rios, Josh Taylor, wild card pick in my eyes, but it counts. Andre Berto, Kell Brook, Omar Figueroa, really just for sister, and Robert Guerrero. Wow, you got Berto and Guerrero. You could do a trilogy in.
I got a lot. There have already been a lot of fights between the members of Team Rafe.
All right, I'll tell you the names on the list, still on my list that I'm not picking. All right.
Okay.
38-year-old Devin Alexander. Even though
I thought of him. That's who was in my head. I couldn't get him. Anyway, yeah.
Somebody's going to stretch the anuses. That man could do it. 39-year-old Ivan Redcock.
So
37-year-old Sean Porter.
Not even washed. He'd win this thing for sure.
He'd win the whole thing. Yeah. 40-year-old Josecito.
I was thinking of him too. He's good.
45-year-old Mile High Mike Alvarado. Okay.
That's assault, brother.
Juan Manuel Marquez. I'm just going to let him retire. He's too good for this shit, and we all know it. So he
never was washed. Never was washed.
Obviously, 48-year-old Floyd was never going to be a real consideration because he ain't doing this. 35-year-old Daryl Spence, he ain't making 147 again. Okay, so that's not happening. We talked about Algieri. Regis Prograis still fighting at 36. I wish I had one more roster space for 42-year-old Jesus Soto Caras because I love Winchell's. I love shirtless on the MGM floor, as you know. But my number 8 wildcard pick is 42 years old. And some would say he's my favorite fighter ever. Is he Oscar De La Hoya? No. Is he Sugar Ray Leonard? No.
Jason Litzau.
The American boy, Jason Litzau, who was on that Washed show with Guerrero and Floyd on that weird network and got kicked off for bad behavior, by the way, and was so washed. Team BC, entertainment-wise, we got Tim Bradley, Victor Ortiz, Ruslan Provodnikov, Amir Khan, AB, Ugas, Matisse, and Jason Litzau, the American boy. Wow, Rafa. I am proud of these. We'll go back to your team here one more time to give that a look. Pacquiao, Horn, Rios, Taylor, Berto, Brook, Figueroa, Guerrero. All right. Who do you believe is coming out of the tournament on your side of the bracket to get to the finals?
So they have to. My guys have to compete against each other.
I don't know. That's really whatever.
That's the question you asked. So let's go with that. I think that. That's tough. I think Kell Brook wins my side of the bracket.
Wow, Kell Brook coming out of there. The new father, 39 years old, still got it a bit. For me, and by the way,
and in the process, he might have another child with someone related to one of the other fighters.
Okay, that's interesting right there. So interesting. You think Brook would beat Pacquiao head up? Straight up right now.
At this stage, I haven't seen Kell Brook fight in I don't know how long. So, but the last time he didn't look that was losing to Crawford his last time in the ring, was beating Khan his last time in the ring.
I thought he had one more. Let me look it up real quick.
He never got to the point where he seemed hopelessly washed, and he's got the kind of physique.
In 22. Sorry to interrupt you.
So going out on a high. Yeah, I think Kell Brook is still closer to prime and has natural size advantages against Manny. And I think it's just I think that's a good matchup for him at this stage.
Hank Williams is right. And Mickey Bay is being disrespected here worse than the time I took that picture of him at the Palm Steakhouse and you no-sold the shit out of it, by the way. Okay.
I did think of Mickey Bay as a troll, but I just couldn't do it.
Okay. All right. BC's team here. Let's go back to it. Who's coming out of my bracket? Look, I love myself some Tim Bradley. I don't think he's got the fire anymore. Maybe he makes the 147 to join the show, but Ortiz, nah, Provad, nah, Broner, Uga. Who's coming out of my bracket here, dude? I may have effed up not putting Sean Porter on this team. All right. What about Ugas? What about Ugas coming out of this bracket? But you're saying that's boring. You're saying that sucks.
Look, I mean, I can't control the producers. I think that if I was an odds maker and all I'm taking into consideration is who would be most likely to win a tournament of these 8 fighters at this point in their careers, Ugas should probably be number 1 on the list. But there's a lot of I wouldn't old Tim Bradley getting into shape. If he gets into shape and is 75% of his former self, he should probably beat all these guys. I don't know. He hasn't fought in so long.
It's wild. It's pretty wild. People wanted Manny versus Juan one more time in this. They wanted it. Okay, maybe we messed up in that. Maybe we messed up with that. They wanted Diego Chavez in there. We messed up with that. But I think we've got some interesting entertainment here. I've got AB in there to just. I mean, is there going to be fights with this much PEDs and alcohol available? Are we going to see fights in the house?
Yes, but I'm making a rule now. You cannot be kicked out for fighting in the house. All right, that's not.
It's encouraged. It's actually encouraged.
Well, I mean, within reason, right? We're not trying to get anyone hurt, but you can scuffle a little bit of stage violence. By the way, I thought of this when you brought up Litzau, and I don't know if he would fit in age-wise, but would Paul Spadafora have been eligible pick for this.
Spatty to let's see how it's all. He's not 50, right?
Probably not.
Spatty is born in 75. That would make him 49. He's just making the cut, but for one more month. His birthday's in September.
If he can get down to 47 by the end of the month, like he could get in there.
And by the way, I wanted Randall Bailey. I was going to pick him, but he's 50 even. So there we go with that one. Yeah. All right. There we go. Now in the final, 39-year-old Kell Brook against 39-year-old Ugas. Who's getting the free healthcare and the call from Mr. Cancer?
I don't know. I mean, Ugas probably is favored in that too, because he was fighting real fights longer than Brook was, but he also looked terrible, right? Was his last fight the Barrios fight?
Yeah, it was.
He looked like he might have quit altogether. Like he won a big fight, he made his money, and then decided, like, I've been doing this against my will for too long, I'm out. So he may not want it, and if he doesn't want it.
Yeah,
Kell Brook, not exactly a apex, not exactly known for his desire either, other than his desire to make bad fights for himself and shorten his career against Errol Spence and Triple G. But
this would be a resurgent win for him, though. Although Poolside Bloke wants you to get K9 for that Detroit. Okay, that's Detroit.
Pretty good. He can. You see, he's still at weight. He never lost it.
Wow, that would be a big win for Kell Brook to just resuscitate himself. The little chocolate brownies for the win.
Little chocolate brownies. Little chocolate. Al, come talk to me, bro, mate. I got little chocolate brownies for the whole PBC family.
Well done. All right, it's going to be a quick one to close here. Of do you care? Because this weekend is not giving you much to care about. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We're going to start Friday, Benghazi, Libya. This is not an error. Live on DAZN, who will put any boxing on their site. Benghazi, Libya.
Is Mannix or Grisham? Is Grisham flying down to Benghazi for this? I would love.
I wish, but you got to believe that's a Corey Erdman.
How much?
Right?
And probably he's calling it from a closet, right? He's not.
I don't know that, but wow, I should get Hakeem.
Is there a functioning government in Libya at present?
Is Gaddafi still around?
No, he was pretty famously sodomized to death by his own people.
Okay, that's something right there. Your main event, Argentine.
Don't give up your nukes, folks.
Argentine PBC fighter Mirko Cuello, who's fun to watch, love him, will be taking on Sergio Rios Jimenez for the vacant WBA interim featherweight title. Dude, WBA, you got a lot of balls. Okay, you got a lot of balls, but Libya.
Gaddafi's old, you know how Gaddafi famously had like the all-female security guards, like he had they're all assassins. It was basically like Kill Bill or something, like Charlie's Angels were his security team, and it'd be, they'd have them in these great uniforms. They're all extremely good looking, supposedly could all kill you very easily as well. Do you think they'll be the ring card girls for this now? Or round card girls?
The fembots from Austin Powers as well will also contribute with that. Co-main Albert Ramirez versus Jerome Pampalone, a WBA light heavyweight eliminator.
I've got a Jerome Pampaloma down there, if you know what I mean.
Francisco Fonseca, the guy that was knocked out by Tank Davis when he missed weight and wore that blue furry hat, walking into the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather co-main, is on this card. And also Mike Perez in a 10-round heavyweight bout against Fernelli Feliz Jr., who lives in Danbury, Connecticut, is the son of former fighter Fernelli Feliz, who's the head trainer for MMA star Glover Teixeira. Interesting connection right there. Also Friday, but no TV, from Toppenish, Washington, Maricela Cornejo against Natasha Spence. 6 rounds, female middleweights. Do you care?
I definitely do not care.
Guess what? That's it. I thought there was a Maloney brother this weekend. I guess not. Did that get canceled?
There's always a Maloney brother some weekend.
All right, we got to close quick with some very generous work from our people right here. Nando of the 510 in the San Fran area. We see you. Thank you so much for the support of this pod. Also, Galach, our boy, right? Galachi, the new father with the red wine. need washed referees in this hypothetical thing. Want to see a late stage Alzheimer's Victrell one.
You know who I want. You know who I want. I want Pat in there. I didn't hear the bell. Where's Jesse Vargas could be in this.
What's
too.
that guy's name? He's still
isn't that Pat Russell?
Yes, he still judges. By the way,
not Dr. Lou Moret, who looks exactly like Pat Russell and also used to ref in California. I think they both
Jack
judge
Reese
still.
Retired as a ref, but he still judges. He was on the last PBC card I called.
Does he still sell real estate in Oxnard and Ventura County? Good.
You can get a condo from him as well. He wants Vic Dracula trying to separate Alvarado and John Molina Jr., who could have been chosen for this. Well done.
What about a holographic Steve Smoger
with the purple latex?
Yeah, of course. You bring back every aspect of Smoger.
Yeah.
What about
Smoger? Yes.
What about what's his name still alive? Mercanti Jr. Can we get him? Come on,
yes.
Champ. You don't want to go out like this, Champ.
No, Champ, get up. No, you don't want. And finally, from Nick, and I appreciate you, Nick. Thank you so much. Appreciate the box. Salvador Sanchez beat 4 future Hall of Famers before turning 24. Any cool stories, memories of him for a boxing newbie? What could have been? Now, Salvador Sanchez, of course, the Mexican legend, died at just age 23 in 1982. So, Rafe, he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He shared Fighter of the Year honors with Sugar Ray Leonard in 1981, and he is widely regarded as one of the greatest featherweights in history and really one of the greatest Mexican fighters. But to be fair, he was before my time. That's a guy that I really am understudied on going back and watching the career run and all the big fights and the highlights. Do you have experience appreciating the art that Salvador Sanchez brought?
I do. I haven't gone as deep as the people who really make an effort to go back and study fighters, like, historical records, and watch as many of their old fights as they can. But the one that sticks out to me, and it's not going to be a surprise, but when his fight against Azuma Nelson,
his final fight, yes,
yeah, just incredible. Because having listened to, I think I listened to our friends Patrick Connor and Aris Pina on the Boxing History podcast sort of talk about the circumstances of it a long time ago. And I think, Nick, if you want to look them up, they've done episodes, I think specifically on Salvador Sanchez. And if not, he comes out often in like any people who focus on history, there'll be a lot of Salvador Sanchez memories and good. They'll be able to give you better detail than these two jamokes can. But that Azuma Nelson fight, because like Nelson, that was like his debut on the big stage against another. They didn't know what he was bringing to that fight. And it, he came out and fought his ass off, pushed Sanchez hard. What was incredible, Sanchez ends up winning, like clearly winning. Like he, like that, like it was a great performance. He gets, pushed in this trap fight, and oh my God, he was a complete fighter. It's it's hard to think of a more tragic loss in terms of potential and what, everything that he had already achieved and everything that he was likely to go on and achieve beyond that. It's not far-fetched to extrapolate out and say, if he had, if he hadn't died in that accident, he would have clearly, there would be no debate about who the greatest Mexican fighter was.
Dude, I mean, it's crazy. He went 44-1-1 up till the age of 23. And that Nelson fight you mentioned, which was July 21st of 82 at Madison Square Garden, in which he scored a 15th round knockout in the final round to stop Nelson, retain the WBC and Ring Magazine featherweight titles. Dude, that was 3 weeks before his death when he crashed his Porsche on a Mexican highway. He stopped Wilfredo Vasquez the previous year. He's beaten big time names, dude. I'm going to go back 2 fights with Danny Lopez. By the way, he stopped Felix Trinidad Sr. back in 1979 as well. I do want to go back and watch those. Only suffered 1 defeat in his career back in 77, a split decision to Antonio Becerra. What a legend, Rafe, known as a complete fighter and could do it all. And the fact that he goes into the Hall of Fame at just age 23 after his death really tells you what he would have become.
And it's not like a charity thing. It is like, right. You watch a couple fights, you're like, oh no, this is legit. And he also has the record with those 4 Hall of Famers that, wins over 4 other Hall of Famers. But it's outstanding.
Bloke to close wants Carol Alt to be the den mother on this Contender House. Let's hear from Carol Alt before we leave you here.
Personal, whatever you want to do to bond. We
So
may
are you
cut
married?
this out later. No. Are you?
No.
Good. All right, switch places. You have 11 points. Congratulations on that.
By the way, Mikey and I are considering making a documentary.
How did you get what? How did you get to 11 points in that, Brian? What did you have? What did you? Was that a good score for? I don't.
It was decent for the opening round. I led 11-7 after round one.
Okay, BC.
I won't spoil everything, but Mikey and I are talking about making a mini doc about this for the BCX channel, and
I love it.
maybe interviewing people that were there, maybe getting Kenny Mayne to sit down and really going deep into this moment in time for a 22-year-old BC. But Rafa, thank you for really contributing. Hijinks, fun, real snarky analysis, salty mustaches. We, the box, appreciate you, brother.
And I appreciate you back.
This was a fun, fantastic show. Thank you, everyone else, for your contributions today. Washed Welters coming to a Contender season near you, whatever network we can get. Okay.
Listen, Brian, you know what to do. Just start a UBO. All right. Let everybody train in your basement. It's cool. We can do this on our own. We don't need anyone else. All right. This law is going through and this will be aired exclusively on the BCEX, the BCX.
Yeah, there it is. They're saying I look like Nando saying I look like Jay Leno's son back in the day. I would have fallen down that hill too to avoid the mob, just like Jay Leno did. You never know what's going on. Thank you to everybody for hanging with us. We'll be back. There's no fights this weekend, so will we be back next week? I don't know. Maybe we gotta set the stage for this big Atama pay-per-view. You in on it?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm down. We'll come up with some other gimmicks to feed the content beast. Come on, that's what professionals do.
That's what we do, and we're a professional, and we're a man, and he ain't a man. Thank you very much for Rafe Boogity. Follow him at Rafe Boogs on the socials. Buy his books on Amazon.com or wherever you find fine literature. Right there, he's great. He's gonna. By the way, you pissed your pants on air last episode. It was wild.
I was in the bathroom. We're talking about piss my pants on air.
Yeah, it was. This is the second time you've done it in the show's history. Pissed during a live show. It's wild.
Oh, you're talking about did I do that? I have done that, but I don't announce it anymore. I just do it.
Yeah. It's kind of like more of a personal thing. Thank you to everybody. We are out of here.
Still going, baby. You know it.